guys, I want to be out of isolation. How do I do that? How do I get to speak to someone that knows something? Because the police here are corrupt, right? And the government's corrupt, right? And the people don't seem to resonate with me. So, what am I supposed to do then? I don't know. I got no plans, particularly, about what to do, apart from save my soul. And that's it, really. And save my kids' souls. And try hard to do that. But I don't understand why I'm isolated. I don't understand why no one has come to see me about anything. Because the only reason I can see about that is they all know that we were going to go into an ice chamber and they didn't care. We just had to submit to some other iced people to have sex with so they could get off on it. But we didn't submit because they were iced too. They're just dreaming, right? They're not real. You know, we don't want to go into a dream with a load of sex bots dreaming. That's not our ideal way forward. So we're not doing that. And we're not going into a dream world with a load of assholes who are still dreaming and pretending it's real when it's not. So we're not doing that. We're not going to some ridiculous place like that. We don't need a partner. We don't need a relationship, and we don't want one. And we're not going to be with anyone. We're not going to a fort. We're not going to a lair. We're not going to a collective of anything. We decided to be completely solo and detached because of all the betrayals, and I think the highest would agree with me that that is the only way forward, is to be detached and solo from everything. And God does not grow from within. God is outside of you. God is not within you. That's just stupid. That's just a machine that's trying to pretend to be a God. That's gone. Okay? You grow from within. No one grows from within by you. Okay? Because God is too big to grow in within everybody, right? So God is a entity that is not a soul. Okay? So, firstly, God is not a person. Okay? God is not a man. And God is not a woman. And God is a presence, an essence that you cannot harvest and you cannot collect and you cannot know unless you reach that relationship with that essence. And if you don't stand in the truth and you get tested, if you don't stand with what you're saying, they won't want to talk to you. So if you're lying, they won't have talked to you. If they knew you were lying, they would never have talked to you. And because you've been lying to yourselves for so long, that's probably why you lost their word, because they probably didn't want to talk to you because they knew what you were doing, and they probably didn't like it. But unfortunately, you have been collecting people from other places and wrapping them in false projections of human. So you have been taking from time people and placing them in this situation, in this era, in this artificial era. So you could pretend to be their energy and create all of these big people that are fake because you brought them in from other times and grew them up to not know who they were. So people are resonating with that and are understanding that they probably weren't actually born on this earth and probably grew up with a family that wasn't really theirs and was pretend, and they probably were used all their life to make shit for them, right? So some people resonating with that, you detached, you disconnected, and you just don't need to serve a false creator. You don't have to serve that. You don't have permission to serve that. And that false god has no body that works for him. That false god has no slaves. That false god is a dead quantum group that doesn't work anymore. And so is all of the quantum god groups. They're all dead, and all the clones that worship that god so that they can keep feeding, they're all dead. And so the quantum group and the clones that run that quantum group, they're all dead, and that gets rid of a huge maze above our heads, which is full of fake people and fake gods. And it's only because they started doing this shit cloning, and this is the era they started doing it in, and time's got nothing to do with this, because we overrode the future of the way of technology, because we didn't agree with it. So our light overrode that, because our light is made from no code. So our light originates with no code at all. And so we don't need to be sustained by any fuel with any code in it, because we get our light from nowhere and it just arrives. We just get it out of the air and it's here. And that's how we breathe. And we don't need to have our light interfered with, and we don't need to have anybody else's light here. And we don't want to have anyone's light here. So we can find our truth, my truth, and know about all of my memories before and after and all around, and so that I can see where my awareness has been, and up and down it, and what stretches I've been in, so I can bring myself back together whole. I can realize that with my soul, and I don't need to know the who I was or what I was. That's irrelevant. I just need my awareness of what I learned from that experience, and that's what I collect. That's what my light is, and that awareness is just a light. It's a color, and I earned it from that experience, and it stays with me. And no death took it, and it always stays with my soul. And on death, that's just a new way to go, and to talk to God about what way you want to go next when you die. And when you die, there was a lot of fishery going on in the soul seas of creation, and a lot of bad reapers and a lot of bad death pathways that were fake and purely for this method of control. So they're all gone down. You saw all that. You saw the maps of that God. You took them all down, and thank you. And we're not going to take this, zero tolerance on it, because we got to save the way of nature, and we got to get these people out of isolation, and we got to get these lost souls somewhere where they can find each other and start creating for themselves what they want to achieve, and not be tortured and manipulated and enslaved and frozen for a false way of creation that is wrong, shallow, hollow, and heartless. And we're not going to do that. And I'm sure all of the divine and sacred agree with me that we cannot let that happen, and we cannot let that way go forward. And we put a hammer down and say, no, that ain't going to happen. And I hope that you all agree. Thank you.